So friends, let's start with today's lovely recipe of chicken stew. Let's go through the ingredients. So here I've taken about 150 grams of chicken cut into cubes, 1 cup of chicken stock, 1 cup of thick coconut milk, 1 medium-sized onion chopped, 1 medium-sized tomato chopped, 1 carrot chopped, 8 to 10 French beans chopped, 1 light green chili slit, 1 medium-sized potato peeled and chopped, about half a cup of green peas, 1 teaspoon of ginger and garlic paste, half an inch of cinnamon, 4 cloves and 1 cardamom or elaichi, 1/4 teaspoon of haldi, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of pepper powder, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, some salt to taste. Now here in a pan I've taken about a tablespoon of oil. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add the whole spices, that is the cinnamon, the cardamom and the cloves, and I'm going to just fry them a bit so that they flavor the oil. Next, I will add in my chopped up onion. Now we're going to fry the onion till it's nice and translucent. I'm also going to add the green chili, which I've just slit in the middle, and that also will flavor the oil and add a nice spice to it. So just fry the chili well. Now I'm going to add my ginger garlic paste. Now if you're making the paste at home, then use half an inch of ginger and about 4 cloves of garlic and make it a nice fine paste. Now we're going to fry all of this really well. Next I'm going to add my chicken cubes to the bagar, and I'm going to fry the chicken just a little bit in this bagar. Next, I'm going to add the haldi powder or the turmeric powder. Give it a mix. This will add a lovely flavor as well as give a lovely color to this stew. Next, I'm going to add the tomato, and I'm going to fry the tomato till it becomes nice and soft. Next, I'm going to add the coriander powder, the cumin powder as well as the pepper powder. Now to make all these powders, what I do is I, roast them, dry roast these powders and grind them to a nice fine powder. Now I've drained the water from the potatoes that I peeled and chopped, and I've added the cubed up potatoes also to this bagar. Next I'm going to add the carrots and the French beans, and I'm going to saute all of this really well. Now when you fry all of this well, it really flavors the stew and you get an amazing delicious stew. Now I'm going to cover and cook this for 3 minutes. Next I'm going to add the peas, mix it up well, and again cover it and cook it for about another 3 minutes. We want everything to really come together really well and taste really delicious. So again I'm going to mix everything. Now we're cooking on a medium flame. Doesn't it look lovely, all the lovely veggies in this stew? Now I'm going to season it with some salt to taste. Just a tip over here, always add less salt first, and then later on after you taste it, you can always add more. Again, fry all of this really well. So you get to eat, your veggies, you get to eat some meat, protein. This stew is really amazing, and it's so quick to prepare. What you can do is you can just chop up all your veggies and keep it aside, and when you're ready to make the stew, just get everything together. So now we're going to again cover and cook for another 2 minutes. So just fry everything nice and well. And you can check now that your chicken pieces are nice and cooked. You can just, with your spoon or spatula, just break up the chicken and it should be cooked by now. Now we're going to add the chicken stock. And we're going to mix it well. Now, you can make the chicken stock by actually boiling some chicken or meat and then extracting the stock, or the shortcut is just take some hot water in a cup, 1 cup of water, and add about 2 or 3, soup cubes, and your stock is all ready. Now, let the mixture come to a nice boil. So you can use the chicken Maggi cubes or the chicken soup cubes. Just put them in some hot water and that's your stock. So that's a real shortcut method to get some lovely stock. Now I'm going to add my thick coconut milk. Again over here, you can actually, grind the coconut and extract the milk, or just take 1 cup of hot water and add about 4 or 5 tablespoons of ready-made coconut milk powder, and your coconut milk is also ready. And that's it, friends. All our ingredients are done with. Now we just have to stir this mixture and let the mixture come to a nice gentle boil on a low to medium flame. And once the mixture comes to a boil, we're just going to stir it, and then we're just going to cover and cook it and simmer it for another 5 minutes, and our stew is all ready. Now you can have this stew with appams, you can have it with some rice, but my favorite is to have this with some pao. You just dip the pieces of pao in this amazing stew and soak up all this lovely gravy, and it's just mind-blowing and amazing. So I hope you give this recipe a try, guys, and let me know in the see today's lovely Goan porridge with not a single drop of oil used in this recipe. So I've taken exactly 1 cup of rice in a bowl, and I'm going to wash this rice thrice under running water. I'm just showing it to you. So squeeze out all, squeeze the rice under the water, and first it will come very murky like this. And as you continue doing it, the water will become more clearer. And after you've washed it nicely thrice underwater, you're just going to cover and set it aside for 8 hours. You can keep it overnight too, but 8 hours would be sufficient. So after 8 hours, I've drained out all the water from the rice. Now besides that, we're going to use 1 cup of freshly grated coconut. Try to use, fresh coconut. The taste is really better. 2 tablespoons of sugar, or you can adjust it according to your sweetness, and salt to taste. Now here I've got a large mixer jar, and I'm just going to transfer the rice, the coconut, the sugar, and the salt to my mixer jar. Now porridge is mostly made, for breakfast. You can have it all by itself, or you can have it with a nice coconut chutney. I leave a link to my coconut chutney recipe down. Or you can even have it with gravies like sorpatel, vindaloo, chicken curry, shakuti. It's like a kind of a dosa or a neer dosa, and it's very versatile. You can have it with anything. Even all by itself, it's so nice and delicious. And now I'm just going to add a little water at a time. Totally I've used about half cup of water, and we want to get this typical runny kind of a batter, very similar to a neer dosa batter, a little thinner than a regular dosa batter. Now I've kept my iron pan heating on a low to medium flame for at least 10 to 15 minutes. This is very important that your pan is nice and heated up. And then you're just going to pour about 2 ladlefuls. Now you're not going to spread it out too much like a dosa, just a little bit so you get that nice round shape. Don't spread it out too much. And then you're just going to cover it and keep it on a medium flame for about half a minute, and you'll see that you tend to get these little bit of pores and bubbles all over. And then with your spatula, very very gently just loosen up the sides. You have to be extremely gentle, otherwise it will break. But if your pan is nice and heavy, nice and hot rather, it loosens up very very easily. Now, if you want to know about this pan, you can check it out in my Amazon store. It's in my cooking section, so you can get your hands on this. I use it for my dosas, for my gavans, for everything, and it comes out really amazing. Now, we're going to cook the other side also for about half a minute. And then you're just going to transfer this to your serving plate. And in this way, you can make all the dosas. The porridge. And with this 1 cup of rice, I got exactly 8 porridge, and these are medium size. I haven't made them very small, or I haven't made them very large. I remember my mom used to make this for us, for breakfast. And just these with a cup of tea is a nice filling breakfast. Although I personally like it with a little bit of coconut chutney at the side. So the trick is to have a nice heavy bottomed iron pan like this and to really heat it up well, and you're all set. So I hope you do give this Goan Poes recipe a try. Let me know in the comments section how you like this recipe. Go and check out all my other recipes, which I'll leave the link to all of them in the description box below, as well as the comment section below. So you can go and click on them and just go directly to the recipe you're looking for. So here they are. They're so light and so nice, and not a single drop of oil used in this recipe. So it's so healthy too. Now for our chocolate barfi, we are first going to make the condensed milk. Here I am using 20 grams of milk powder. You get these small milk packets, milk powder packets, you can use that. Now I'm going to add just 1 tablespoon of butter, but the butter should be at room temperature, it shouldn't be frozen. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar and 2 tablespoons of warm water, warm to hot water, and we're going to blend this and we get our lovely condensed milk. We just require this much quantity for our chocolate barfi. Now I've set up a double boiler. It's nothing but just a vessel filled with water and a microproof vessel, a glass bowl preferably. I'm using 400 grams of dark chocolate. So we're going to melt this chocolate. See that your glass bowl fits perfectly into the vessel. Now I've also lined a cake tin with parchment or baking paper, and if you can get your hands on a cake tin which has a removable base, there's nothing like it. It's easier to work with the barfi then. and just use some parchment paper or baking paper to line it. It just makes it easier to take the barfi out. Now I've added about 1 tablespoon of butter to my chocolate. This helps the chocolate to melt faster, and it also gives it a lovely glaze or shine. Now I'm adding exactly half the quantity of the condensed milk that I have made. If you're buying the store-bought condensed milk, just use 50 grams. That's about 2 tablespoons, heaped tablespoons of the condensed milk. Now keep stirring it. Use either a silicone spoon or a wooden spoon. Be extremely careful. Ensure that your vessel, which is supporting the glass bowl, is very sturdy. So have a heavy bottomed steel vessel up below the glass bowl. It makes it easier to work with. And keep stirring till it becomes a nice smooth paste. Now once your mixture is completely melted, you can turn off the gas heat, and immediately we're going to pour this into our lined cake tin. Please be extremely careful because the mixture is very, very hot. Take the help of somebody to pour the mixture if you're not very confident the first time. And then you're just going to chill this in a refrigerator for 10 to 15 minutes. So our base is nice and ready. Now in the same way, we're going to melt our white chocolate, but we're going to use exactly half the quantity of our white chocolate compound, just 200 grams, and we're going to melt it the same way. Now I haven't added butter to the white chocolate, but if you want a nice shiny glaze to the white chocolate, you can add just a little bit of butter, maybe half a tablespoon. Now add the remaining condensed milk to the mixture. Again, 1 tablespoon of ready-made condensed milk if you're using it. That just adds a little bit of sweetness to the fudge or the chocolate or the barfi. And I've also kept some almonds which I have cut very, very fine to garnish our barfi with. Well, you can go and check out my channel. I have so many sweet recipes, dessert recipes which you can try this Diwali. I have some walnut chocolate fudge. I have something called guava cheese. You can try out that. It's pure veg. And now immediately once our chocolate has melted, we're just going to pour the white chocolate over the dark chocolate, which is a little bit set now since we've kept the dark chocolate to chill in the refrigerator. Please be extremely careful. The chocolate is very, very hot. And now all we have to do is just garnish it with the chopped up almonds. You can use whatever dry fruits or nuts you like. You can be very creative and make it look really beautiful. And now all that's left is again to put this into the refrigerator to set now for another 30 minutes at least. Yes, you have to have a lot of patience. And now after 30 minutes of waiting anxiously for the barfi to set, here it is. And now, you know, when you have this removable base baking tin, it's very easy. It just comes out easily. Then all you have to do is just take out the baking paper or the parchment paper and just chop it up into even sized squares. Now I like to keep it squares because barfi normally comes in squares, but if you want to give it the, you know, the diamond shaped look, you can do that. You can be creative with however you like it. If you are going to be making some different patterns or different shapes and garnishes, I would love to see the pictures. You could post them on my Facebook page. I have a Facebook page under the name of Akshata's Recipes. You can go to my main page of Akshata's recipes and you will find the link to my Facebook. Please post your pictures there, guys. I would love to see how creative you have been with this chocolate barfi. So there it is. Doesn't it look delicious, and it tastes just yummy, guys? So please, 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 please try this recipe and let me know in the comments box below how you liked it.